This is a trade I don't fully understand, but maybe I kind of have some clues. But here's the 3 minute. We have this swing. We have this chat candle on the 1 hour, this latest closing candle on the 1 hour, and the 50% of this move, which is the 4 hour swing, is right here. So that's the 1 hour. The 15 minute, if I took it from here, we have the 50% there, and we have the 50% here on the 3 minute. And we'll scroll forward. As we scroll forward, we engage the 50% on the 3 minute, and we do engage a POI, this Virgin Wick right there. So that's not an issue right there, but perhaps the issue is that we go way too deep, and we go way past the 50%, and we're all the way down here now. And at this point, then we get a inverse of the fair value gap. But another thing that it just occurred to me, we did not sweep anything. We did not sweep anything. So this could actually be a clue. This could actually be a clue. Because on the PTK, IFEG, we're supposed to get these settings, the ATR being at least 0.1, and we do require the sweep, and we leave it automatic for 5 minutes. Short-term structure, sweep both, and extension is short. So we use these settings, and let's see if we get a IFEG. Okay, so this is still the 3 minute. That's the FEG. Let's see if we can get a signal. Okay, so doesn't look like the PTK gave us anything, because it actually does look like we maybe didn't sweep. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't sweep this low, and so there was, I mean, in a way we did sweep this low right here, but it's not a distinct swing point. So that's a possible clue. We didn't have a sweep. But we do have a nice close, and we do have volume here. In any case, at the time I was thinking and looking at this, we had this chat candle, and okay, here's another clue. We have a bearish POI now formed right there, because this candle closed bearish. This 1 hour closed bearish. So that's a major clue. Now we kind of have a better idea of what's happening, because we have a down closing. We're now bearish on the 1 hour. That would have been a major clue that the bullish case may not be so strong as I had thought. So that actually makes me feel a lot better. At least now we have a reason. It's kind of like what I was saying, actually. We can, compare notes. See, I was saying if this had turned here, this would have been a more valid setup than way down here. And it turns out that this 1 hour is a big clue. We closed lower. So that invalidates. That's why this is not A+ setup. We now have the answer. We now have the answer why this is not A+ setup. Despite having this very strong candle closing over this, inversing this FEG right here with volume, and it's a very strong close. We have all these bearish FEGs in the way, and the most important thing is we closed the 1 hour. This very much makes it not a A+ setup, because 1 hour just closed bearish. I mean, think about what we're doing. We're saying this chat candle is our trend, yet this candle is more chat than this, and it engulfed this one. So yeah, that's why. So when it comes down to it, this is not A+ setup. So we were spending our energy on this one single very nice looking candle, and to be sure, if it had happened over here much earlier before this 1 hour close, then this would have been a very nice candle, and nobody could argue that this is not an A plus setup. And in that case, had it turned around here and we had this more up here earlier than this, before this 1 hour turned red, then that you could make a case that this is an A plus setup, and even if it lost, you would have been okay, that you followed your process. So there's your answer. And then all this secondary stuff, that's not really relevant, but it's interesting because it did come down, it did hit the VWAP, but that VWAP also did not hold, because this is what happened. So the VWAP did not hold that support. And here's a major clue, this 1 hour bearish candle. Mystery solved.